In a life full, and I do mean full, of questionable choices, 12 years ago, I happened to make a pretty good one. Like most of my not-so-good choices, this one wasn't very thought out or planned, and quite honestly, could have gone very wrong, but I went with my gut. I'm so glad that I did. 12 years ago, I opted out of the insanity that is American consumerism and into a life that prioritized balance. Into a life that allowed the freedom to focus on the things that truly mattered to me: my family, my health, my community, my happiness. When I was young, my dad passed away, and his death left a hole. And it's so hard to get back to that. 12 years ago, I decided to spend half as much money so that I can work half as much. Not because I don't like what I do. I'm a physical therapist and I love it. Every day I get to help people move less to move more. And it's very rewarding. But I wanted to work less so that I can do more. I wanted to be a better father, a more present husband, a happier, healthier person, and a more engaged citizen. Giving up half your pay and half your benefits wasn't an easy call, though, because life was pretty good at the time. 28 years old, making good money, 2-paycheck family. House full of all sorts of stuff, lots of expensive clothes, a couple nice cars outside, living a fancy life with eating out all the time and swanky hotel trips. But when my first son was born, I wondered if there was something else, something more. I wondered if there was something other than following the crowd down a path of ever more work and more debt and more stress and more commitments. I wondered if there was something other than working 40 hours a week so that I can pay a stranger to raise my son. I wondered, what if I consumed less? Could I work less? Say, 20 hours a week? Would we go broke? Could we pay the mortgage and the student loans and the other bills? Would our lives be boring? And what about savings? Would we ever be able to retire? And could we help the boys with their education? I really wanted to be there to help raise my son. So we went all in, got rid of the TV and the cable and the cell phone, sold the second car, and gave up my driver's license and bought a house close to work so that I can walk and bike there every day. Started job sharing with my wife. She's also a physical therapist. She's worked the mornings, I get the afternoon shift, and in between, we'd be there for the boys. We also stopped being ridiculous with our money, and that was the hardest part. But we committed to leveraging every dollar that we earned into things that only made us happy, into only things that we found fun. So out with eating at restaurants all the time, and the closets full of overpriced clothes and the exotic trips. And in with more delicious meals cooked at home, just a few awesome clothes from the thrift store, and more hiking, biking, and camping trips nearby. Society tells us that in order to be successful, we must be busy, 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 chase wealth, and buy lots of stuff to be happy. But 12 years into this little experiment, I can tell you that they are wrong. By committing to a simpler, clear, less cluttered life, I have found more opportunity, more passion, more freedom, more energy, and yes, more happiness. We haven't run out of money yet either, which is actually quite surprising, because back in the day, I used to love to go shopping. I really did. I get that not all of us can work part-time. I'm fully aware of that. But I would argue that every single one of us can do a better job of valuing our time, of fighting for our time, because when you strip everything away, time is all that we have. I was made painfully aware of this when my dad died young of cancer. A punch in the face that hurt so much, and still does. His death 2 years before I made this life-changing decision was a wake-up call that our tomorrows are not guaranteed, and that our tomorrows will eventually run out. So let's all of us right here commit to better protecting our time against mindless consumption, and the endless time suck that comes with the organizing and storing and maintaining and cleaning of all of this stuff that we don't need. Remember, we buy things with hours of our lives, and that less stuff really does mean more time. Time to hopefully invest into things that actually matter, like into ourselves. Let's use this time to reflect and be crystal clear on our values, those things that we are not willing to compromise on, those things that we are willing to wake up every single day and go to battle for and suffer for. Let's use this time to invest in our health, to take better care of our body and our mind, to walk and ride our bike more, to cook and eat delicious food, to meditate, learn new skills, and read. And time to invest in our families, to be a better parent, grandparent, a more present spouse, partner, to hug our dads more and our moms. And time to invest in our communities. Let's use this time to invest and meet more neighbors and to engage and volunteer and help out. And time to maybe even take a stand and create something that you wish existed. Something that can not only bring more urgency and purpose and meaning to your life, but something that could have a real impact and make a big difference in those and in the lives around you. Maybe you're passionate about ending social injustice or championing women's rights or addressing poverty in your neighborhood. Or maybe you just want to get kids off the couch, off their screen, and outside onto their bikes. Who knows, maybe with all this newfound time in our hands, we can create something that together could collectively change the world. Like Margaret Mead once said, never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. Let's get to work. I can't wait to see what we do. Thank you, Traverse City.